I got in the car and 6 was warm. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Yi took the food. Eat some energy supplements. Be careful not to eat too quickly and be careful about stomach infections. You are a good person, thank you. How many days? Have to live in a food shortage. So at this point Han Han and 6 of course and issue Han Han. You are good, brother. You're telling me why? I don't have any. I've always been a burden to everyone. If it's not possible, always protect me. I'm afraid I died a long time ago. We're good sisters. You're welcome to me. The translator said that. But I still think you're a little better. Why do you say that? Since she was a child, she's had quadriplegic paralysis. I can only sit in a wheelchair. But under the threat of that monster, you can still live. I'm not good enough yet. You could say lucky. Or there's a girl in the back of Kia protecting her. But more than a month. The Kia monster must at least attack some 10 by 1. Twice it can be said. Being lucky 3 by 4 times is a bit weird. You can live until now. I see this is definitely not a coincidence. I said yes, 06, probably bewildered to ask 2 people. What are you talking about? You're really smart. No wonder I can live until now. I can even feed my 2 stupid sisters. It's not that I'm smart. Just looking at it from someone else's perspective. There's too many coincidences. Especially just now. When your teacher is fighting monsters. You told me to stop their fight. If you want me to protect your teacher, then RA should have told me to kill that monster. Just help her. But you didn't. You want to protect the monster. Not your teacher. Based on the 2 above. The monster has been there ever since. You're always raising it. I guess not. You're really smart. I've already guessed 6 to 7 parts. But people aren't as bad as you think. I am not the owner of the flower. I didn't tell him to kill classmate and teacher. It's just that it's always been protecting me. It's the wild cat you've always fed before. That monster is a wild cat. I used to eat at the dorm and change into. Because my relationship with Hoa Hoa is very close. That's why it didn't work for me. I don't blame him, but every time he comes, he threatens me. They never attacked us. I thought we were lucky. I'm afraid it's not as simple as you say, is it? It's just appreciation. That's why I didn't attack you. Could the monster lead the way for us? 0TR public is also by instinct. Your powers of observation are so meticulous. I can't hide anything from you. That's right. After the flower changes, it becomes extremely intelligent. You can hear my words. I actually said, let him know. Someone will come to pick me up. Tell him not to hurt you. I just didn't expect you to be so strong. So, you also told him to kill his Kia classmates. And then there's no such thing. There are a lot of haters among them. But I don't hate them enough to kill them. In the beginning, they died because before, they used to abuse the flower. And the flower needs the belly to speak. But then the situation became more unusual. You don't know. There are people who criticize me as a burden. A lot of times, I want to sacrifice my life to stop the fire. They even deliberately pushed my wheelchair over. Push me out. That's funny. I'm dead. How could they know? The flowers won't hurt me. So I can live every time. Disagree with me. Their hearts are getting deeper and deeper. I just need to survive. Then they will realize their own uselessness. It's because they want me to die sooner. It's only 6 months before I understand everything. RA is like that. Many times I thought we were dead. So later I felt. These people died well. So there was a time when the flowers were playing with them. Little by little, killing them has something to do with me. I feel cruel gratitude Sao. Truongyi looked at Han Han thinking silently. This cruel point is very similar to mine. They're not familiar with me either. Everything is your reason. I don't care. I came to save you. Just keep your promise to your sister, and you need to use your computer skills. That's right. In this kind of world, people who have no value cannot be saved. Don't worry, I'll join my team later. As long as you obey. If you are serious about working, you will not be hungry. In mortal danger. I can assure you of this. Thank you. Thank you. I still have a question. I hope you can help me. Just ask. That face has been around for so long. Why? You didn't send a message to your 2 sisters. It was sent recently. Further down in such a thick layer of snow. What kind of signal problem are you solving? Baby, for better or worse, I'm the world's top hacker. Problem with this signal. Of course it's easy to solve. There is also a flower to help me. It's about sending people a message. I'm not going to call my stupid sister. Since the beginning, my goal has been you. Your goal is me. You and I have never met before. I thought, my stupid sister Kia is dead. Even though Sao is with her intelligence and ability, it's okay to be in the entertainment world. Save people at this point. So I won't give up my hope of living. On top of her. Then you chose me. Previously my phone. I get news from the outside world. Switch to its feature. No less than a normal supercomputer. We just need a little analysis to investigate our. This document is related to you. I really adore you. It's obviously just a normal warehouse manager. But you can do that. In that time. How much do you know about me? He replied. It's almost the whole thing. Just be able to find it online. I just need to snap my finger and find out. Including the about your involvement in the HOA Nam warehouse makeup case. One included recorder. Transfer copy of your bank card. There is something. How many neighbors have you killed? In the Lock Music sub-district. After reading these stories of yours, Han Han is really my favorite. Listen to Han Han. The face contorted thought RA. She's a Kyo patient. That's why you know me and Yongmi. Cho Kai is together. They used them to contact me. Truangi thought. By a beautiful Kyo patient. This pathetic gypsy is aimed at. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. And he said, yes. That's what it is. I don't know if you came to save me or not. But if you don't come, I will definitely come looking for you. But you really came to save me. Han Han is very happy. I thought that everything is under your control. Not expected. You fall into the trap that others set for you. After a moment of thinking, I asked him. I'd like to ask you a question. You and that cat have such a good relationship. Will he obey all your orders? I've never had a cat, an animal like a cat. They can only be considered friends. Whoever is good to him will follow him. But it's hard to be its owner. Especially wild cats, that's a bit difficult. I still hope that can acquire a useful fighting force. In the end, it is still not far from Duong Han Han Sao. Truangi thought silently. Emotionally intelligent animals like this cat are very elusive. Especially rural domestic cats or stray cats. It's not easy to trust people. Moreover, it is difficult to master. Probably look. Flowers, follow us here. It's actually in the back of the car. It's come such a long way. Remember the star of the remember. There's still a lot of cat food in the warehouse. There are dried and tested seeds. Let it eat Sao. Maybe these foods are much better than people. The ice skating cart speeding down the road. Take everyone back to the main house. Thank you, Mr. Zhang. You two have worked hard today. What is there between us? It's called being present. Then the view and the spring brought RA to meet again later. I just walked into the house 6 and I said. Oh my god, this is the land of my dreams. It's hard to imagine. But there is such a happy place. Yes, I just need your help. Keep this place safe. You can stay here for the rest of your lives. Great CA6. Of course. I'll work for you wholeheartedly later. He did not hesitate to ask for help. Does your help cover the living aspects? The man stood for a moment with this question. She really dared to ask you what you were talking about. Truangi stepped to pinch the cheek. Han Han. At a young age, you know a lot. For me to say. Your main job is to help me. Maintain the safety of this avoidance. Did not understand the thought. Duong Han Han is very beautiful. But for me to say, her greatest effect, is the ultimate computer expert. My translation is not so good. When you meet a beautiful girl, you want to do something. The sad face. Maybe he's insulting himself. I can see Han Han Dung running quickly to Han Han. Good, you're alive. You hold my hand, I really am. Why didn't I contact you earlier? I've certainly suffered a lot on the outside, right? Do you know how worried you are about me? In front of the concerns of Yang Mi, Han Han accidentally replied. Take advantage of men's illusions about you, but become an outsider, relying on his body. RA. What else do you have to say? Sad to say. If it wasn't because my brother was with me, Mr. Truangi, I didn't want to contact you either. The male lead looked at the two cousins thinking belly. It seems that the cousin relationship is also not harmonious. But also normal. My cousin became a national goddess. Is the object of illusion in the hearts of countless men. Computer genius. I have a high IQ as an underdog. She is also normal. At this point, Chow asked Mr. Truangi. From when? You are welcome to be so kind to others. She's probably my best friend at school. Is a specially recruited student of mechanical engineering. Call me, of course. I'm always reminded of everyone. Of course, everyone in the family is a beautiful girl. Listening to praise Young Honey pleasure AIRA. Your mouth is so sweet. If only I could be as honest as you. That's good, honey. Go and cook a good meal. To catch the wind purifying Cho Han Han and of course, child ability. You can clean the room for the two of them. I have cleaned the room before. Just prepare one more room. In just a moment the food has been cooked. We're done washing. Come and sit down. Thanks later. Internet safety in the home. I'll put you in charge of this. There's no problem. Give it to me. 6 possible stress, asked Truong Pandemic CA. What do you have to tell me? Don't be so nervous. I didn't eat you. She's a master of engineering. I'd like to ask you a question. If you're going to make ammunition and weapons, you know what? Guns are not hard to build. But you need professional machinery. More in terms of this ammunition, materials to be used. It cannot be bought on the market. It's easier if it's a cold weapon. A lot of material can be obtained from other metal tools in the house, but also need forging tools. This is not difficult. Come with me on a trip. I'll give you something. Following Truong Yi, he was shocked. These are. Let's see if these things work. If that's not enough, I still have my place. 6 likely to think. They are all high-end and expensive. A lot of things are treasures. The import price is a few hundred thousands. The translation said, if not anymore, I'll collect 10 more at some ironworks. Bring the equipment you need. No problem. It's enough to have these. There are some devices that are not used, but I can take it apart and rebuild it. You just arrange it. And then I'll say, the equipment I need you to do for me. Don't worry. Just leave this to me. That's right, if you're a mechanic. Must be very knowledgeable about the material. Right, you see. Is this thing an ancient god? That's when I took it. Her teacher's eyes. It's like trying to take my life. That's your salary. I can finally hold it. This sword is called Dragon Sound. He is the best sword master in the country. Self-forging handout. It's not an ancient handicraft. It's cold weapons. It's crafted from the highest level of modern technology. Herd alloy material Kim Araman. It's the most durable metal in the world right now. They can even cut diamonds. It's so bad. That's right. This metal was only developed 15 years ago. Inherently, it's intended to be used in military weapons, but because the cost is so high, the material is extremely rare. They were fired by the fire company, but there are some people applied it to the construction of cold weapons and forged this invincible sword. This sword is called Dragon Sound. I heard the salary as a bodyguard for important political figures has done great work in return for saving lives. I used this to praise. As for the salary, it's a great honor. I always thought it was more important than life. Not thinking good things. There is no doubt that wages can be relied upon. It's for fighting cats. The normal sword is afraid of being broken a long time ago. If you are a good person, let me keep your salary. Eat slowly and don't choke. We've worked a lot at the Academy of Astronomy. Yes, there is a lot of rice. If you are hungry, cook more. Don't eat the stomach. There is no shortage of food in school. Our school has just over 300 students. But there are 20 big and small cafeterias. Food in the house is too much to eat. Not to mention that there's an in-house supermarket. But fortunately the CA saved us. Otherwise the weather is so cold. Even if there is more food, we're afraid we won't be able to hold out for very long. Fortunately, there are many people under the snow. On the contrary, the temperature is not too cold. Stay here and work hard. Won't leave people hungry. Thank you, CA. It's been over a month since the blizzard hit. So far there is no sign of the end. The temperature keeps dropping. Most of the connections between regions of the Earth has started to lose connection, which led to a fierce competition for supplies between international regions. Extreme weather extremes has made many areas of the Earth fall into a state of no government, and most of the armed organizations that were built began to use force to control resources and human life and death. The situation is a little bad now. The chaos didn't come a long time ago. I didn't expect it to be so scary. Not like before. It's just a few organizations that have armed power. Want to do something, but at least they're still trying. The power of high-rise. But the Korean weather lasted for more than a month. It also means that the ice age will not end in a short time. Like that, those people won't have to worry about being eliminated. Of course, there is no need to try again. It's like the regulatory regime of some units. It exists there. Maybe it's not that AI has to comply. But just have it there. Some people will have a little bit of a hard time. Won't do too much. But there's no order anymore. The brain is lost. The power of local governments is rapidly rising. There is only one end. It also means a chaotic situation like the battle of the vassals may be coming soon. Once the time comes, the lives of ordinary people. It's not as bad as grass. Take a look at your new equipment. It's safe later. The information network here will deliver it to you. To look at Han Han thinking silently. A highly intelligent computer genius. But he's got polio, paralysis of the lower half. There's no better AI here than her. He's a computer genius. Han Han's operations are extremely skillful. What is wrong with the network? The light system of this galaxy. It's the highest level of personal networking. Previous 15 extremely powerful features. Even until now, it can also be overwhelming than many networks in the world. Its artificial intelligence is extremely good. There's nothing wrong with that in theory. But top hackers can build a pub. 2 weeks ago, the system has been hacked more than 1,000 times. If not discovered in time, it's more than winning. The whole network will be paralyzed. To remember. Of course, after the events of the 6 Fong Fong himself and correct
Someone
this evil,
outside
Kia recognized the problem. You can fix the pub and prevent these attacks from happening. Mr. Truong, don't forget what my specialty is. Pub repair is easy. Moreover, I'm going to create a new cryptographic
For
network
everyone to use.
You don't have to use the router before. If not, intrusion through the radio network. Extremely easy. Watch and do it. As soon as the word is finished, the word is done. My brother's done. Truong Yip rubbed your head and praised Han Han very well. It's just simple protection, it's not that hard. Now, let me see if the AI wants to break into the network here. If you can get back in. The enemy's network. It's interesting how much you know. If 7 fails, is there any danger? Some parts are hard to say. Even though it hasn't officially hit, with the current situation, the power to attack their fear of suffering is not strong. Don't worry, even if I can't hack their networks, you can at least hide your tracks. Not discovered by them. Then it's good that you did it. Suddenly, the boy came in a panic. The epidemic is not good. Fuck. The monster has a big mutated cat. Is lying in front of Zhang Yi's house gate. The male lead turned to Han Han. Who's that cat that really likes you? Chased all the way here. Maybe it's the people he trusts. It's just me. I didn't feel comfortable with Theo, so I came here. Listening to Han Han say Truong Yi thought the immediate silently. Emergency task is to recover quickly. This loving cat, become a weapon in your hands. Otherwise the person across the river. No matter how many people will die. Come on, follow me. Go and see what happens. Chow Kai-ni worried about Truong epidemic. There's a big monster outside. Just look inside and meow. Of course, you have to call Hanare. It's a pleasure to come here. Don't be afraid, it's a friend of mine. Let's go out and see Sao. I saw the cat staring at her. Like I want to say something. The flower looks tired. Tired of the cat, Zhang Yi thought. Watch out. The battle with Pei has made it pretty exhausting. That way I still have a chance to capture it. Let's go out and feed the cats. The dog moved closer to the cat. Don't be afraid to come with me. I am too familiar with it. But when I looked back, the cat was a little scared. It's decided through the stomach. To capture the cat. I took it from the RA space warehouse. Lots of food for cats. Come and have some food. The outside environment is really harsh. As long as you are my lover, I'll give you something to eat. He decided to take a risk. Put food close to the cat's mouth. I thought to myself, the cat is the cat. As long as there's food, it's easy to deal with. But a cat stood up. Zhang Yi's eyes were on alert. Hoa Hoa is a wild cat with very high vigilance. It took me more than a month at first. I can get close to it. More than a month. I don't care about that, but I'm worried it's going to attack the village of Fat. Don't give up the campaign, keep talking to this cat. I know you don't believe me now. But I can provide you with food. But you have to agree with me, you can't attack the people across the river, is that okay? The cat meowed for hours. It seems like he understands what Nam said. So let's make that decision. To the house, Truong Yi thought stomach. First country negotiations have been successful. But the cat is so big. The amount of food is definitely a lot. You have to find some food to feed it. Standing in the house watching the cat, Chow Kai-ni and Yang Mi surprisingly uttered. I can't believe it, Zhang Yi. 3 people are watching. Then RA it can transform large and small bodies SAO. 6 likely to say. This is not of course SAO. Great CA. Turns out the biology student wasn't very good. If it's going to use this big body, the people at the Kia Academy of Astronomy, it's basically not enough for it. Fill your stomach with words. I've always had this suspicion. It appears and disappears very suddenly. Logically speaking, it can be big. That way, even if it's close, there will also be a lot of noise. But in fact, no matter how good your salary is, you can't even detect it. Analysis by amount of food. Then it's very capable of transforming large and small bodies. Then the problem is easier to solve. A wild cat. How much food can you eat? Watch carefully for a moment and recognize the flower. He was bleeding, and Zhang looked closely at the cat. The blood on the body is new, but it's frozen. But it must be a salary wound. Use the phonograph cause. I don't blame him for looking so tired. But when he ate again, he didn't notice the wound. But what about wild cats? Being injured is like a meal. When the wild cat is eating, it is better not to come closer. Prepare some medicine tomorrow for it. And by the way, foster affection. After so many days of suffering, the final jubilee in 6 revelation, I was able to find a safe place to live. I really want to ask you to hit me. It feels like a dream now. Obviously this morning we are still. It's cold under the ice. Now I'm back in the room so comfortable. So is not very good SAO. All of this, we all have to thank Truong Yi. That's right. You're a good translator. It is possible to have such a good safety net in those days. So I've decided. You must work hard later. You don't care about me. He told you what to do. He told me to get used to the equipment first, and then there's something that RA did himself. In addition to maintaining the equipment that helps him. Maybe we have to make weapons. Weapons are not that easy to build, right? If it's a normal gun, it's not difficult to build. But if the guns are complicated, without professional equipment and molding, it can't be done. Whether it's following the process, the probability of failure is very high. I see. I'm sure he doesn't lack a normal gun. Compared to guns, bullets and bombs might be more useful to him. Yes, I will talk to you tomorrow. Let's see what weapon he needs. Moving on to the next day is good. But this thing, you should produce the largest amount. You have to pay attention to safety. Just tell me what you need. Don't worry, this is my specialty. If there could be more explosives, the better the land. No problem, just let me worry. Let's talk about the Kia students. After getting out, they started contacting their families. A dance for your family. I understand the situation. Stay there and don't do anything for now. I'll immediately contact the person who saved you. Everyone rejoices at the news that they are about to be saved. Good, we're finally saved. You don't have to be in this hell anymore. The teacher is not a tiger, you are good. The others are more unlucky, unable to contact relatives. Maybe our families have all been in trouble. They glanced at the dance thinking. The father of dance, really capable of coming here to save SAO people. If there is, it's because SAO has to wait for Korn to actively communicate.